Hello, friends. We have Walmart out there now warning customers that price increases are coming. They're talking about a large number of items. We need to talk about that. We got Aldi out there starting to limit butter. We got big updates on the Undersea cable that has been cut. The latest on that fast developing story, and it's getting bigger by the moment. Russia taking big steps to get individual families prepared for nuclear war. We should probably be paying attention. No eggs, reports of expensive eggs, reports of azure out of whole milk powder, drones over New Jersey, and a heartbreaking story on why what we talk about on this channel is so very important to individuals. Let's talk about it, friends. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all over about what's happening out there in the world. Thank you so much for being a part of what we're doing here. It is impacting lives for the better and very really saving lives, friends. Before we dive in, we do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They make this all possible. If you have a retirement account, or if you want to get your funds into something safer like precious metals, you might want to talk to Jonathan and his team about that. A lot of folks have retirement accounts, and it's one of the easiest ways that you can get invested in precious metals without coming up with a whole lot of cash right off the bat. If you want to talk to them, there'll be a link at the end of the video. This is from Full of Hope, carrot recall. 18 states, E. coli, one has passed away because of this. And now it's an organic carrot recall due to E. coli contamination in multiple states. The brand is Grimway Farms, which is, as they say themselves, one of the largest carrot producers inside the United States. We're talking about Arkansas, California, New York, Colorado, Washington State, so all over the U.S. basically. And there are reports of people getting sick from coast to coast. We're talking about organic carrots that are sold at Trader Joe's, Wegmans, Costco, and countless other stores under different brand names. This is a big deal, friends. We need to talk more about that, but check your organic carrots. Now, it's whole carrots and baby cut carrots, so organic though. Now we have a suspicion on the 2 undersea cables that were cut by potentially a Chinese bulk carrier, the Yipeng 3, not 2 or 1, which was traveling from Russia to Egypt. Oh, and by the way, yes, a second cable has been cut. And yes, we now have confirmation that the first one wasn't just out of service, it was severed. So we have 2 severed cables. We have a suspicion that is a Chinese bulk carrier, which was right over the cables at the time and apparently intercepted both of those. We'll see what happens of that. Now, the first cable was from Finland to Germany underwater, and then there was also the Sweden-Lithuania cable that has now been cut as well. Sweden is investigating both these incidents and is investigating the Yipeng 3. That ship is owned by a Chinese company that only has one other cargo ship. So it almost looks like a shell corporation. We'll get you more information about that. Now, just to give you an idea, about a year ago, a Chinese container vessel, the new Polar Bear, I don't know why you need to say the word new twice, and Polar Bear is also kind of a weird name for a cargo container, but ship, they damaged a Baltic gas pipeline between Finland and Estonia. That was just about a year ago, and now we have a Chinese container ship apparently damaging undersea cables. Could all be an accident, could be just they dropped out their anchor at opportune times and caused this mayhem, or they could be pretending that like it was an accident, or maybe it was just flat out intentional. Who knows? We need to figure out how to protect ourselves from this, right? All right, we have Walmart out there warning customers of imminent price increases. This was in their investor call. They're talking to investors, but in that call, they were actually talking about basically price increases are coming. and they took that opportunity to kind of warn customers about that. They saw the retail giant posted a 5.5% revenue growth year over year, along with 27% surge in global e-commerce sales. This is what they said. We never want to raise prices. This is from Walmart CFO John David Rainey. He said this on the earnings call on Tuesday. Our model is everyday low prices, but there probably will be cases where prices will go up for customers. You think, right? Rainey said it was too soon to determine which products in particular will be affected. He added that about 2/3 of the items the big box retailer sells are made, grown, or assembled in the United States. That's what they're saying, at least, right? This is from Richard. Update per Bloomberg UK. Russia attacked with U.S.-made long-range missiles for the first time. Indeed, that is what we're hearing out there, that these that the ATACMS missiles from the United States were used against targets inside Russia. We've heard some general responses from Russia on the announcement that Ukraine could start using missiles against Russian targets, but we haven't had any responses just yet to these specific attacks. Interestingly enough, we are also seeing out there that Russia has begun serial production of mobile bomb shelters that can protect against a variety of threats, including shock waves and radiation from a nuclear blast. The emergency ministry, so this is actually the Russian government, is actually helping produce these things, design these things so that families inside Russia can purchase and set up these shelters outside their homes so that they can be prepared for nuclear war. They're called the Cub-M shelter and could offer protection for 48 hours against these and other natural and man-made hazards. So the Russian government is trying to get Russian families prepared for World War III, and yet in the United States, you're a crazy person if you talk about any of this stuff, right? But the wise people are still getting prepared out there. This is from Great Granny. No eggs at my Costco yesterday, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Had a sign saying temporarily out of stock. I don't think this has ever happened. When we had the bird flu and cullings last time around, crazy. We're hearing a bunch of folks saying no eggs. And we're going to hear some other folks saying the eggs that they can see have gotten very, very expensive. M. Burton says, not able to get whole milk powder from Azure Standard. It is out of stock. So when you have a mass bulk supplier like Azure go out of milk powder, people are probably stocking up, and they're not able to get enough production in order to meet the demand. Hopefully you're paying attention by now, friends. I know a lot of you are. I know some of you guys are still on the fence about whether you should do anything about it. Take my word. Take the reports that we're getting out there that you should be taking steps to prepare yourself, especially on eggs and milk right now, and beef. Beef is going to be big. We don't have a lot of reports on that right now, but it's going to be a big deal in the near future. Ultra MAGA Patriot says, drone swarm top U.S. military facility in Morris County, New Jersey. Army helicopters deployed. We're gonna get back to some of these things. This is at the Picatinny Arsenal Research and Manufacturing Facility. Okay, so here's what we do know. One, apparently no U.S. military helicopters deployed. That was the New Jersey State Police Aviation Unit. The local law enforcement was deployed. New Jersey's state police had a helicopter tracking these drones, but no military assets were deployed per what the New Jersey has said. This is Morris County, New Jersey. It's next to Newark and New York City. Several really big concerning things here. First off, that it was about a dozen or more larger than typical commercial drones. So this wasn't a bunch of DJI, four propeller, drones. Okay, this was bigger drones. They were much longer range, and they stayed up and flew for much longer than a commercial drone would be able to do. And the distances that they covered were very concerning. And this being right next to Newark and New York is also concerning. Was this a dry run? In Morris County, New Jersey, Picatinny Arsenal is there. They do test and produce firearms. Basically, they're mostly a R&D facility, and then they also kind of test existing firearms that are being used by the U.S. military to make sure that they are up to snuff, and to develop them and look at manufacturing processes and to test new weapons and such. So that is what that facility is very focused in on, as an Army facility. But this is definitely a very concerning set of reports coming out of there, especially the fact that there wasn't any military response to this. It's just like everyone's like, hey, there's stuff flying overhead. Maybe someone should check that out. And so the state police is like, okay, let's set up an unarmed helicopter to just look at them. I mean, you can just imagine how that's kind of ineffective. None of the drones were shot down. None of the drones were intercepted. None of the drones were seized when they landed. So you take that for what it's worth. Nobody seems to know what these drones were, and the helicopter that was up there didn't actually solve it either. This is a report from Texas Prepper. In Texas, south of Dallas, all of the fresh produce at Walmart is overly ripe, seconds away from being rotten. Fruit flies all over, very small quantities available. It's shocking and very third world. Now, we did talk about the border fiasco where the folks down in Mexico were protesting, and so they shut down the border for about a day. So that may actually be impacting some of the produce there available in Texas. But it wasn't blocked for more than a day. It was only part of a day, so it should be cleared up. This should not be impacting produce much longer than just a few days. This is from JR. I bought 4 turkeys and cooked them to make homemade dog food. I noticed after I pulled the turkeys out of the oven that 2 of them had cloudy broth in the pan. This is unusual because the broth should be clear. I've cooked turkeys for my dogs for about 11 years, and this is the first time the broth has been cloudy. I won't be canning this broth. Does anyone know why the broth is cloudy and a bit thick? This is weird. We're hearing some reports of weird turkeys out there. So let us know if you're seeing anything that's really unusual, because don't know what's going on with this. Rebecca, if you have an update that you'd like to share, or if you know some of the information that we're kind of asking questions about, pop it down in the comment section on this video or on any video on this channel. Make sure you use the word update somewhere in there to get it to the right place. Rebecca says, I live in New Hope, Minnesota, and the 2 closest Sam's Clubs to me have no eggs available. When I tried to do a pickup order, found some at Costco, but cannot find organic at either Costco near me. So 2 Costcos there, could not find organic eggs there, and no eggs at all at Sam's Club. Sarah says, Aldi limiting butter now to 6 pounds. Checker said it's company-wide, so they're not posting this. But if you try to buy more than 6 pounds of butter, apparently Aldi is stopping you. She cannot override, so I came back after loading my groceries in the car and bought 6 more in a separate transaction. So if you do run into that, apparently that will work. So let me know if you guys are running into this, and also if you can just get around it like that as well. All right. The Last Pirate says, Kroger here in Middle Georgia. A produce employee of 35 years told me their bell peppers have been discontinued. Yeah, at Kroger, because they're not going to carry bell peppers ever again. It's kind of funny, right? My friend and I found this funny, but now I see what he was talking about. We have reports about the green peppers being out, and that they're having serious issues actually replacing those on the store shelves. So that's not a one-off. AK says, thanks to all of you and your updates. I've been able to share the news. People tell me this info here is about 2 months ahead, and that is truly what we are seeing here on this channel. Sometimes you guys are like, I'm not seeing what you're talking about, and then a couple months go by, and then suddenly it's like, the egg prices are going through the roof, and we're like, we've been talking about that for a few months here. We've been warning people. We've been talking about drying eggs. We've been talking about getting prepared and freezing eggs and all that kind of stuff like that. And people are like, we were talking about that when eggs were cheap. We're talking at $1.50 a dozen. Go get stocked up. Go get stocked up. And now that they're approaching $6, this is from John. Eggs went up to $6 a dozen here in Palatka, Florida. Big increase in price. Yep. Hope up. This is a hard one. I debated whether to share this. Let me read this one first. Hope Up says, try buying flour in Walmart in Virginia. I was shocked that the 5-foot wide section, only several bags of maybe 5 kinds, if even that, and only 3 bags of bread flour. Why? What's up? Flour's getting... People aren't baking anymore. And so the baking sections have gotten a lot smaller. All right, this is the hard one. Like I said, I debated kind of sharing this, but I think it's important. I think it's important for us to understand what we're talking about, and the information that we're providing on this channel is impacting lives. Okay? My husband is within his 100 days of post-bone marrow transplant due to cancer. He took extremely ill and was diagnosed with E. coli on Thursday, which has been a mystery how I got, as I have taken all precautions necessary to protect him as he recovers from treatment, and I am a nurse. He has taken the last of the required 3 days of antibiotic today, so he's going to be all right. But it was difficult, right? Our host family and I were watching the local evening news an hour ago, where we were informed of a local E. coli outbreak of organic carrots resulting in a voluntary recall. We talked about that just now, right? They did not say what stores or how many are involved. We live in Michigan. Just pulled those same recalled carrots out of the refrigerator. I have unknowingly almost killed my husband. We need to get information out to people because information is power, and information can save lives. And you guys who are a part of what's going on here, to get this information out as fast as possible to as many people as possible, can not only save people money, and here's the big deal. For some people, where money is really tight, I know a lot of people are really struggling right now to pay grocery bills. That's a big deal. That can be a life changer, right? Being able to put a little bit aside, food-wise, because you can save some money here, means you can buy a little extra there. You can find a good deal. We talk about all these things here on this channel, and some people are like, that doesn't matter anything, and they want to talk about big stories, and that's it. They don't want to talk about what's happening in grocery stores. But friends, what's happening in grocery stores, recalls, deals, and shortages are really impacting us far more than what's happening over in the Middle East, what's happening over in Europe. Sure, our grandkids are going to have to pay back what's going on over in Europe, but right now, what's impacting us are these type of stories, and you guys are being a part of that. And this community is going to continue helping each other and helping other people who need that information. All right, friends, we're going to keep you going. I am coming to you from Florida, visiting my parents for Thanksgiving, and hopefully you guys are taking some time in the next week or two to visit with family, to reconnect with people, and to spend time with the people that are most important to you. All right, friends, thanks so much for watching. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold about what you can do with a retirement account, there's a link right there on the screen. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up there. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.